I don't know if that's satisfying or gross. Back when we emptied out the engine bay, we took out the steering box, and now it's time to get it ready to go back in. So today we were working on the steering box, and we were originally going to take it all apart, but we got some good advice that said if it's working fine, which ours is, that we should just re-grease it and that we'll be good to go. So that's what we're doing today. But first, we're going to take the tag off of the steering box and decode it, which is going to be really fun. So that's what we're going to do now. Okay. Shallow.
Yeah, it's very shallow.
Which makes it harder to see. So we're using Stanger's site, which has a lot of information about steering boxes on it. And that's where we're going to degrease. And that's where we're going to decode our little tag.
What does yours say?
HCC AM1.
So M for manual. 1965.
Shaft 39.
You got a 1-inch sector shaft. And look, 6-cylinder.
Yeah.
So, I think this is definitely yours.
Seems right. So, 1965, because it's a 5.
Then what do you got?
Then the second position is a letter indicated the month the box was assembled, which is D, so April. Right before the car was assembled.
Nice.
Because it was assembled in May.
The 28 is the date.
Oh, so
it's April 28th.
April 28th. Then what does the C mean?
Remember, that's the shift.
Oh, work shift C.
The guys on work shift C
Finished it.
finished it on April 28th, 1965.
Very cool. The main thing that we needed to do on the steering box was to re-grease it. But neither me nor my dad had ever used a grease gun. So we went on the internet to find out how it works. Oh, my favorite kind of movie.
First, unscrew the gun head from the grease tube. Grip the grease tube firmly and with the other hand pull back the rod handle and lock this into position. Remove the cap end and slide the cartridge into the tube. Now remove
Cap into the bottom and the foil at the top
Yeah.
goes back into the gun. Okay, gotcha. Okay,
It can be attached to the tube again, but leave it loose one turn. Release the rod handle at the base and press it in. You may hear some air release. With this know-how under your belt, you'll get years of trouble-free service from your Tool Pro grease gun.
Tool Pro grease gun.
Yeah! A Tool Pro grease gun. So, I just learned how to load my grease gun. We just watched a video on loading our grease gun and how exactly to work it. So, we're going to do that because it seems like fun. Pull this off. Yeah. Okay. What did he say next?
Now put the top on, but remember
That
put it
is
on,
not
and
how
then-
he said it. Now we're gonna put the top on.
He said it with it was.
But leave it
The
unscrewed
whole video was with an
one
Australian
notch.
accent. It was fantastic.
It was fabulous. Okay.
There you go.
Then
That's good. And I think just a little bit of a
One
half.
turn.
Yeah. There we go. Teamwork. Cool.
I think it's.
All right. Looks like that's working.
Looks great, mate! I'm so sorry to anybody watching this video who's Australian. I couldn't help myself. So, we're about to grease up the steering box, but first we wanted to show you the shaft, because it's just pretty cool. And we've heard that a Ford steering box is supposed to be 5 rotations before you get to the other side. So, we're going to test it. Also, we've heard that if your steering box is good, it should be more loose towards the ends and firmer in the middle, which I'm going to be looking out for.
So starting at one end. All right, go for it.
1, 2, that's 3, or that's half, So that feels
How does it feel?
pretty firm.
It's getting firmer at the middle. Then does it start loosening? There's 3.
Yeah, it definitely has gotten a lot looser now. 4, 5, and it's done. That's
Awesome.
really cool. So we're following the instructions on the Stinger site that we saw earlier. The first step was to rotate the shaft all the way to the right, which we've done. And the second step was to take off the fill plug and the bolt furthest away from the fill plug. So there's a group of mechanics who follow me on Instagram, and they recently sent me a whole bunch of really cool snap-on tools, which are super nice. And I'm really, really grateful, and it's my first time using this one. So we didn't have the right tip for our grease gun, so we just use electrical tape to kind of build it up, and it's enough so that we think we can get some kind of a grip here, and hopefully it'll work.
Might take a while. I don't know.
I think it will. It's hard after a while.
It's getting pretty. Oh, there it is.
It's up here. Keep going.
That's it.
Oh, cool!
All right.
Did you see that? Okay, so now Stinger's site says to turn the shaft all the way to the left because we had it all the way to the right, and do the process all over again with it to the left.
Does it feel any different, or does it feel just as smooth?
Feels just as smooth.
Is that all the way to the left?
Yep.
All right. And so now what?
Now we're gonna do the exact same thing we did when it was turned all the way to the right.
Cool.
This is probably not gonna take us long.
Shall we pump again?
Yes, we shall.
Sure, go for it.
Well, that happened fast.
Keep going. All right. Well, positive result.
Okay.
Nice job.
So full. So we're going to be using Eastwood's Alumablast to paint our steering box. Nice! Okay, so it looks great. We're gonna let it dry here so that nothing touches it. We would put it in, but we haven't done the wiring yet when we're doing this, and it would just be a lot easier without it in the way, so we're gonna wait until after the wiring. But yeah, it looks really good. I have to admit it, I wasn't super excited about working on the steering box, but after I learned and saw how it worked, it was so much fun. So what I'm taking out of the garage this week is that whether it's classes at school or steering box, things that seem boring and tedious at first can be really fun to learn about. Thanks to Eastwood for sending me the Alumablast that we used on the steering box. I'm so grateful for your support. Thank you as always to my executive producers, the Bowling family. And if you would like to support me, go to my Patreon page at patreon.com/ElliesGarage. Thanks guys, and I'll see you next time in the garage.